Okay, I want to show another great blog post from a man X-Men. He talks feminist target King Richard. And if you don't know what that is, it's a film that is about Serena and Venus Williams, the tennis stars. It's about their father, Richard, and how he supported them. And so they became executive producers of this film to have it made, to say, thank you, Dad. Now, all you guys know, especially with black athletes, like the males, the guys will be interviewed and they'll list people that they supported them, and they'll almost inevitably mention their mothers and said they would say their mothers supported and or pushed them and allowed them to become what they are. So the Williams sisters are doing it for their father. Now, King Richard, as you see, biological drama, biographical, about Richard Williams, a tennis coach and father of Venus and Serena Williams. The film stars legendary actor Will Smith playing the titular character. This is great. Serena and Venus were executive producers who helped the film be portrayed in their vision. Wow, that is great. So they're saying, thank you, Dad. Thank you there for being there for us. Their father was determined to see his daughter succeed in a sport that doesn't have a lot of black faces. The sisters wanted to make sure that the film would hammer that point home. There you go. So representation, and that's good because the Williams sisters did for tennis what Tiger Woods did for golf. This film was given very positive reviews by audience and critics. Will Smith's acting and storytelling was heavily praised. This film also garnered a lot of attraction from Black audiences who hoped that this video is a change in the direction from the typical portrayal of Black males. Yes. It's not often the Black men are portrayed as strong father figures and great influences on their children's lives. Yeah, exactly. Media usually portrays them as violent thugs, deadbeats, and criminals. Yes. To see Will Smith, a prominent Black actor, playing this role makes the scenario even more wholesome for many Black audiences. Groovy. Unfortunately, in the United States of America, a positive image of a Black man brings out a noticeable disturbance out of many feminists. I'm going to expand on X-Men. I would say not just in America, everywhere. And a positive image of a man, period, is noticeable by any feminist. White women utilizing the feminist label manage to find a problem with any media that portrays men in a positive light, especially Black men in a positive light. This film is no exception. But I will agree with you this, X-Man. The Black man is the punching bag. He's lowest on the totem pole. So seeing a film like this is particularly gratifying to me. Currently, white feminists have complained that this film is sexist because it gives the credit of exceptional woman to a man, even though this film is literally created in the vision of Serena and Williams sisters. Williams, the women who feminists are pretending to care about. I agree with that, X-Man. I mean, feminism is a hate movement. Its purpose is to attack men. And this is solid proof. They are willing to shut down something that helps out a woman in order to get at a man. Most notably, Dr. Jessica Taylor, a feminist author known for the best-selling book, Why Women Are Blamed for Everything. Oh my God, what a gaslighting title. I'm not going to read the rest of it. She took on Twitter to claim that the film was about the father, not the two tennis legends. Well, duh. That's what the film's purpose is. That's what he's the subject of the film. Yes. Black Twitter dragged her, showing her who the executive producers were. But she doubled down on her stance, claiming that she couldn't wrap her mind around why the film would be centered around and named after a man. She's lying. Remember, feminists just lie, period, over everything. She understands perfectly. She just hates it. She doesn't have what it takes to come out and be truthful and say, I just hate the fact, I hate that men, and I hate the fact that man's being praised. She's a typical white nationalist. Other white women have echoed her sentiment, questioning her same criticism. Each time they were corrected by black men and women, explaining the reasons the film was created and executive producers being the tennis legends themselves. Yet they simply ignored those criticisms and failed to acknowledge why they were getting the backlash in the first place. Of course not, because they're just hate mongers. Did they seriously make a film called King Richard about the success of Serena and Williams sisters, but it's about their dad, Richard? Yes. Yes, that's right, because the Williams sisters were giving kudos to the involvement of their father, without whom they probably would never have become tennis stars. That's right. I get this has annoyed people, but I generally didn't expect film about two of the most powerful, I guess influential, I would say instead, successful and amazing Black female athletes to be named after a man or center or a man. I would have to have loved this film to be all about them and not about man. That's it, really. Yeah, she explains that she hates men, right? So she doesn't want men to get any kudos, even the fathers who have had a positive impact. And of course, it's not about the women because the Serena sisters want it to be about the father. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. I'm going to read them all, and it's going to be painful. Let's see. This one, I am having the same mental dilemma. I get that he was instrumental, okay, but ultimately Venus and Serena were the ones doing it. Well, sweetheart, sweetie, as I said before, male athletes, especially Black male athletes, are always thanking their mamas, and that's all right by people like you. Okay. Contrera, oh yeah, that's an accurate name. Yeah, my review, I mentioned that. So you're not alone. It just feels like a bad time to do this. What do you mean a bad time? So what is a good time to praise a Black man? It makes sense in the story why it's about him. It's also literally really good biopic. Okay, she admits everything's about the film's good. However, has clearly been plotted with a huge carve out for Serena biopic to come later. Okay. I'm not sure if this is aimed at me. I 100% agree with what you're saying. Oh, I'd still rather that have more Black female than any other stories. What about you? Okay. That's what I said, but it was a Will Smith movie, so it had to be about Will Smith. Genius. It's not a Will Smith movie. It's a Richard Williams movie. And Will Smith portrays him. It's not, the reason it's not a Serena and Venus movie is because they don't want it to be about them. Oh my God. So the interview they did about wanting the story told this way doesn't matter. Okay, finally, some pushback from Miss Lovely. Thank you, Miss Lovely. Tremendous achievements by women, overcoming the barriers, sexism, racism, sexism, etc. And they named the movie after a man. It's about him, genius. And it's also about racism. He's a Black man, and he was also had to overcome those barriers. And he helped break those barriers down. And this is the sexism I have to deal with. And in this case, Richard Williams has to deal with this kind of sexism. Not just a man, their father, a man who helped them achieve their goals, a man who was ridiculed for his protective, strong approach to his daughters. They wanted this story told this way. Who are you to tell them to do it some other way? Thank you, Miss Lovely. It's a shame the public has no appetite for a movie about either of the sisters. See, at this point, these people should be banned from Twitter when they go on like this. Miss Lovely, you should have reported these women for racism. Doesn't matter if that's a good film or that they want it. It doesn't matter that they don't want it that way, right? The fact the man gets the film, they don't still indicates the typical behavior of men over women. So this root fam, yeah, that's well named. So in her humble opinion, it doesn't matter what the girls wanted. They're not allowed to praise their father. Yes, you know better than them. You know the story they should tell. You see, Miss Lovely is giving a good shot that humor and sarcasm doesn't work on dead-brained white nationalists. I know what sexism in our society looks like. It looks like a moviegoer is not wanting to see a movie based on 2 Black female athletes. Again, genius. It's not that they made a movie with Serena and her sister and people didn't go to it. The Williams sisters want it made about his father. It looks like no screenwriters making that movie, no producers seeking funding for it. It looks like no demand for it. I just only want a man. Wow, what a bitter, jealous, do nothing. This red root femme person, she's a bitter do nothing. This woman has accomplished nothing in her life. Another white girl, yeah, have been spitting feathers about this since I saw the poster. Spitting feathers? What? Small garden ghost, okay. Amazing how so many people responding are just saying that Serena and William made it so this can't be a result of patriarchal influence. But it was an influence. It was the influence of a good father figure that made them want to do this. I wouldn't call that patriarchal. I would call that pro-male, pro-father. But no movie this size gets made entirely by 2 non-filmmakers. And even where women often do end up centering men in their lives. Well, Small Garden Ghost, women use men. They marry them so that they can be their little go-boys. Of course, they're centered. Hey, Small Garden Ghost, are you against the first ladies? Hey, I think I agree with you. I think that the president should always be single. And women who want to be where he's at have to become president. I don't think there should be first ladies anymore. No free rides. Jay Cohen, so much Darvo in these comments. I don't know what Darvo is, but I can guess. It's wild. You can't comment on the original bad optics because the optics of being the commenter. Right, makes sense. LOL, yeah, it's not worth engaging with these responses. There's not really any content beyond I'm mad at you, made a mild criticism of this thing I like. This woman didn't make any criticism of this. They were told. It kind of reminds me of the MRA reaction to Nita Sarkeesian critiques of the video Backs game in 2012. Holy shit. Holy shit. You know, everyone, this is why I say more and more that men should just all become MRAs because of stuff like this, because these haters out there. These women didn't criticize anything. The only thing they said was that they hate that a man got kudos. That is not a criticism. That is, I wouldn't even call it crying. It's just disgusting man hate. Mo jokes. No, I like that. No, that's clever. Sounds like you aren't really a fan of the Williams sisters. If you were, you'd know why they produced a movie celebrating their father and how they appreciate the sacrifices he made to give his daughter a chance in a discriminatory sport. Of course, you would not understand. Mo jokes. These hate mongers understand perfectly. Everything you said was great, but at this last one, sorry, they understand. They simply hate this man with a passion. Dr. Jessica, she looks like she's 22. So I can probably expect what she's a doctor of. Maybe Diane, white feminism in action. Whew, chill or child. I think it's child. Thank you. That's probably the best response I've seen yet. Mrs. Bungerdridge. See, that's one of the issues with white women. You don't see anyone else's wants and desires as more important than your own. Aha, aha, she's calling out the racism. Thank you, Miss Bundridge, for calling out this white nationalist. You cosplaying feminists to get your entitlement off and not lost on me. These women wanted this films and you have the audacity to say they were wrong. Thank you, Mrs. Bundridge. Sorry, I really love that. Fire Joe Rogan. Oh my God, all that name. You didn't want to see them. You wanted to see yourself. This is the story they've told, and you've rejected it because of your own values were not represented. You don't value Black women for themselves. You covet them as a vehicle for your own white redemption. I can't really agree, Fire Joe. What they don't really want representations of themselves. They simply don't want a Black man getting kudos. So, you know, I just want to correct you there. Let's see. Malinda Haley or Hale. But it's the movie that they wanted to make. Yes, they loved their dad and wanted to honor him. Thank you. They never intended it to be about them. So why does it bother you? Okay, a new award. This I'm putting Melinda as gold standard. Okay, now let's get to more of X-Men. Okay, so this was just a silly little Twitter issue, one that was mostly dominated and won by the right side. Thank you. Black Twitter, judging by the likes and comments. No harm done, right? Now X-Men's making a good point. Just feminists being typically silly. I wish that was the case. It would have been a simple popcorn entertainment. Unfortunately, feminist attempt to tear down Richard Williams continued. Exactly. Exactly, X-Man. Sabrina Williams, I think he means Serena, is it? Oh, the half-sister of Serena and Venus. Sorry, X-Men, I didn't know Sabrina. Has conveniently chose that specific time to bring new allegations against her father. Oh my God. According to her version of events, Richard abandoned her and her siblings. She makes another series of bold accusations. She claims that he only pushed his daughters to become successful attempts for profit, that the film should focus on their family's life as well, even though the film has nothing to do with that he thinks of himself as a king, but no one else does, making the title of the film too over the top for her. She also had to bury her father in her mind because she doesn't see herself attending any funeral of his in the future. Oh my God, that is brutal. We don't know the merits of this story. Which parts of the stories are accurate and which ones are exaggerated or flat out false. Regardless, one has to ask themselves a simple question: why now? Sabrina claims that she's in peace with the situation and that she has no concern to waste her life trying to be accepted by her father. Well, if that's the case, why would she go out of her way to do an interview about him and complain about the fact that he has a documentary putting him in a positive light? His daughter Serena and sorry, I'm talking her name. Her and Venus, they made this film on their own, so I'm more likely to believe them over Sabrina. If you have personal issues with him, why not resolve that behind the scenes? Well, X-Man, I think you and I both know she wants her 15 minutes of fame. Why did it occur to her to use an opportunity, shining a light on her father successfully raised two tennis legends, to bring up her daddy issues? You've supposedly moved on from that chapter in your life, yet the simple act of him getting accurate praise for a specific accomplishment, thank you, X-Man, influenced you to come out of the woodworks, making accusations against him in public, and explain why you didn't think the guy deserves praise. Yes, specific. I like that because her father could be, just gonna have to think of the right words. He could be a bit negligent in other aspects of his life. But this accomplishment, his daughters are giving to him because they're true. Okay. These entire allegations, be it true or false, are not rooted in genuine concern by any of the parties involved in the situation. Thank you, X-Men, for calling that out. These allegations are meant to do one thing: utilize feminism as a tool to prevent a positive portrayal of a Black man in a film. It's even more noticeable considering that they did this very same thing just a year ago. 2019, The Baker was prepared to be streamed on Apple TV Plus. The film was about Joan Morris and Bernard S. Garrett Sr., two of the first African-American bankers in the United States. Another film that attempted to give Black men in a positive portrayal. Thank you. Conveniently, as the film was getting positive reception, Garrett Jr.'s half-sisters, Cynthia and Sheila, came out with sexual abuse allegations against him, using their claims of sexual abuse as a reason to prevent the film from being released, which is odd considering that the film is about their father and his life as a Black banker, not the son or the son's allegations. The film was delayed for a year. Now, a film that would have been a good influence for the next generation of young Black males is now tied to sexual abuse allegations that weren't even related to the plot of the film. Of course. Everyone, this is a hate movement in action. It's a hate movement in action. This situation is no different. The intention is to put the damper on the legacy of Richard Williams and the film as a whole. When people watch the film, they won't be thinking of the sacrifices and parenting of a great father. The film won't have the same spark that it originally had. When people watch the movie, their memory is going to be on the supposed deadbeat father and not a motivational father. A man who's literally had several strokes and whose health is in question can't even get a proper send-off. It has to do with silly accusations of sexual assault and attacks on his character. Expect more of these convenient situations to happen whenever a future movie about a Black man is set to be released. The only thing I have a problem with X-Men is silly. I wouldn't use the word silly. These aren't silly accusations. These are disgusting allegations. And I hope guys will start using terms like that, proper terms. Because silly tends to downgrade it. And I'm saying no. These are serious accusations that are meant, these are sexist allegations too, and misandrist. Thank you, X-Man, for another great blog, and I find an honor to put it on my channel as one of my videos. You see, I am several guys like this. And I think that's all we need to say. Everyone, over and out.